president. He's somebody who obviously would not necessarily stand up to the Justice Department if he's asked to do something he doesn't necessarily like, because everything that comes from them will probably be something he supports. So, I think that's part of the issue.
This departure from 117 years of history and tradition is really remarkable, not because it's historic and that's a reason for continuing, but because the demands of the job are so unique. They are so
here. If you saw, the FBI Agents Association of the weekend also said that they had been promised this job would remain a career agent position.
Welcome, Patriots, and let's once again witness the hypocrisy of CNN regarding another appointment by Donald Trump, the Deputy Director of the FBI, which has been causing quite a stir. Of course, they are saying it's a senseless appointment, but what if I tell you that there's more behind this appointment than meets the eye? So get ready to absolutely see how this decision could potentially shape the conservative future of the United States.
And today we are learning new details about what may have led to President Donald Trump selecting Dan Bongino, a right-wing podcaster and former Secret Service agent, as the new FBI Deputy Director. Now, the role is traditionally held by a career FBI agent, and FBI Director Kash Patel had previously told agents it should stay that way. So, what changed? It appears to be a recent standoff between interim FBI leadership and the Justice Department over demands for names of agents involved in the January 6th and Trump-related investigations. But there's a lot more to it. CNN senior justice correspondent Evan Perez joins me now. So, Evan, what more are you learning about how we got here?
Right. Everything was set for Robert Cassane. He is the head of counterterrorism in New York for the FBI, and he was brought down here as part of the interim leadership before Patel got named as a nominee, and everything seemed to be fine with him and Brian Driscoll, who is still the head of the Newark FBI office. And then there was this confrontation, which happened a couple of weeks ago, where Emil Bove, the acting Deputy Attorney General, was demanding these names of everyone who touched these January 6th and Trump-related investigations, and that's where things seem to go awry. So we now know, obviously from the weekend social media post from the president, that he has instead gone in the direction of Don Bongino, who is a very public supporter of the president. He's somebody.
And what we see here is a clear attempt by Trump to place someone who is loyal and committed to conservative values at the helm of the FBI. And in this video, we will expose all the hypocrisies of the liberal media and why has this appointment left them so desperate. FBI agents are in a panic. And have you ever wondered why? Watch now in this video.
Who obviously would not necessarily stand up to the Justice Department if he's asked to do something he doesn't necessarily like, because everything that comes from them will probably be something he supports. So, I think that's part of the issue here. If you saw, the FBI Agents Association of the weekend also said that they had been promised this job would remain a career agent position. So the question is, what changes now when you have someone who is this politically attuned to the president with this job?
And again, Dan Bongino, not someone that needs to be confirmed by the Senate in any way as deputy director. So the impact will be felt pretty immediately. Evan Perez, thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Brianna?
We're going to turn now to someone who used to be deputy director of the FBI, Andrew McCabe. He is CNN's senior law enforcement analyst. What is your reaction to hearing of this appointment?
Well, I'm stunned. I think, Brianna, in the same way that I would expect most FBI people, current and former, are really shocked. I've heard from many of them in the last 24 hours, and this departure from 117 years of history and tradition is really remarkable, not because it's historic and that's a reason for continuing, but because the demands of the job are so unique. They are so broad, of such immense scope and responsibility, that it takes people an entire career, 15, 16, 17, 18 years before typically they're ready to fill this role. So a deep understanding of the FBI, its mission, how it accomplishes that mission, the different tools that are to be used, the capabilities of the workforce, all those things go into it. So to bring in someone who has no connection to that whatsoever is really stunning and dangerous, I would add.
Sources say this hiring of
The conflict between the interim leadership of the FBI and the Department of Justice exposes the internal struggle over the January 6th investigations. And could Bongino's appointment ensure that these secrets don't get out of control? Of the conservative, the liberal elite wants to use the FBI as a weapon against us, but this appointment could prevent that.
Bongino happened after a week-long standoff between acting Deputy Attorney Emile Bove and the acting FBI Deputy Director Robert Kissane. Bove had demanded the names of FBI agents involved in the January 6th and the Trump-related investigations. Kissane resisted Bove's demands. Kissane had been expected to get the job. So when you look at that, do you think that could have contributed to this?
It certainly could have. I don't know the internal machinations of how this played out, but there's no question like that Kissane and Driscoll are the two people that the Trump administration chose from within the ranks to run the FBI. But what they showed during that brief period was they were not blindly loyal to the dictates of DOJ, and specifically Emile Bove. They acted to protect the people, the agents and analysts and all those FBI folks who did the right thing, who complied with the law and with FBI policy and working on the cases, the January 6 cases to which they were assigned. And that sort of adherence to duty and honor is not something that is valued by the current administration, and so they had to go.
And truly choosing someone who deeply understands and shares our values and beliefs is essential to keeping America at its core. And now more than ever, we do need loyal defenders in our justice. It's time to fight for America, and the fight is just beginning.
Can you explain to us sort of the interactions typically between a deputy director and an FBI director, and how you think the sort of non-traditional picks here with Dan Bongino and Kash Patel are going to impact that?
Yeah, so the FBI deputy director basically runs the day-to-day operations of the FBI. You've got 37,000 employees, 12,000 of which are agents, all of whom carry guns, across the country and around the world. It is an immense organization involved in many, many different types of investigations, everything from daily run-of-the-mill stuff to like super sensitive national security cases. And so the FBI director is responsible for all of the FBI's intelligence collection and investigations operations. It is almost impossible for me to imagine doing that. I know better than or as well as anyone what it takes to do that job. And the idea that you would try to do that without even knowing what the FBI is, how it works on a nuts and bolts level, what people are assigned to, what they're capable of, what our legal authority is, where the guardrails are against taking further action. Without knowing those things, it's almost impossible to imagine that you could be successful as deputy director. And if the deputy director fails, so will the director and the entire organization.
Andrew McCabe, someone who has a lot of insight into this, uniquely so. Thank you so much for being with us.
And this appointment marks yet another new chapter in the conservative history of the United States. And our mission is to support and strengthen this change. America depends on each one of us. And did you see how the media tries to distort the narrative about this appointment? Just see that they are desperate, which shows that this appointment was a right choice by Trump. The truth is, while they are trying to hide the facts, we are here to defend them. And if you are not subscribed to the channel, I invite you to subscribe to this channel. Leave your comment here, like, share, comment. Because together we are the force of change in America. Thank you very much to everyone. Until next time.